Alright, this is a video response to Colonel Richard Hunter, who did a video response to me and all that. Look, I don't think you should be taking down videos on my account if you had a video up there that maybe didn't explain it just quite right. Don't take that crap down because of me. I wasn't upset or nothing about it. I just thought I'd point out that the argument hadn't been made, really. But here's the thing: if you're gonna quote me on, 10 seconds of a thing, like you're saying, quote me on this: "Fuck the UN," because I'm right there with you on that one. And so I guess I just want to talk about some of the stuff that I don't even know where this is going to go, but I'm going to try to make it happen. Alright, so, you're saying how there's the gun community or the gun Second Amendment supporters and all that stuff. Look, I'm a huge supporter of the right to bear arms for everyone. Maybe the biggest. So, I think there's that. I'm a big supporter of that, but the thing is that that's not like the end all die all issue for me. It's just not. I would never, or very rarely would I ever vote for anyone that I thought would go against firearms in any way. But for the most part, the people that I would vote for or the people that I would support wouldn't be against that anyway. So, I mean, the thing is that, if you are for personal responsibility and individual liberty, then you're for guns. So, I mean, it's kind of hard not to be. So, and there's I want to do a video on this, but I don't know if I'm going to call it like, the old codgers gun club or something like that, but I'm going to talk about probably piss off some people. But I'm going to talk about the gun community and what I think about it. And by gun community, I don't mean on YouTube, I mean in the world, or in the US at least, that I've had contact with. But anyway, let's move on to, what was it, the space program. Look, I'm not ignorant. I know about, the technological advances that the space program brought us. And I'm, grateful for those, and I like, the internet, and I like my smartphone and all that stuff, and I think it's great. But I would trade everything, every technological advance we ever made, to bring back all the liberties that we lost from then till now, all the lives that were lost from then till now, the American lives, fighting a Cold War, fighting the Vietnam War, fighting the Korean War, fighting the Gulf War 1 and 2, fighting the Afghanistan War. It's not worth it to me. And all of that crap to me is pointless. Yeah, the internet's great. I make my living on the internet. I think it's great, but it's not worth the lives of even one man. I'd rather be working a shitty job if that man could be alive today. That one dude. It's just not. And until people get off their and that people are going to get all upset because I'm going to call them warmongers. But that's what you are. If you are, oh, well, we need to go and do this war for some reason. To whatever, to protect our interests, or to stop the spread of communism, or to whatever, this and that. It's not worth it. It's just not, The Vietnamese were responsible for Vietnam. The Koreans were responsible for Korea. I'm responsible for America. And that's it. I mean, I have interest in Canada because it's right next door. You know, if the Russians move into Canada and start aiming missiles down my throat, that's a different story. If the guy down the street or whatever, you know, comes over and takes over my neighbor's house and then starts pointing guns over the fence, that's a different story. Okay? But the crap that happens down the street or whatever, if I'm the government, none of my business. And that's the separation that people need to make. Government is here. It is bound by the rule of law. The rule of law. Which means absolutely nothing to neocons. And it's funny because they talk about, without rule of law is coming. I got news for you. Without rule of law is already here. That time is come and gone. Look, I challenge you, the haters of me that are still watching, all those people that are going to see this. I'd like to hear about how many of you have done something to help your neighbor. When I was 17, I joined the Marine Corps because I thought I was going to be helping my neighbor. You know, when I heard about the massacres going on along the border, you know why I went down? You know why I go to Arizona? Why I go to Arizona and I put my life on the line? And why I spend my money and my time to go down there? I'm supported by some people, some friends too. But you know why those people support me to go down there? It's to protect American sovereignty, one. And two, well, I guess number one, is because violent, murderous people are threatening us. They're threatening our sovereignty. You know what it was that spurred me off? The one thing that made me want to go more than anything else? When I heard they uncovered a mass grave of 70 illegal immigrants. That the cartels had been killing these illegal immigrants once they had hauled stuff across the border and dumping them in this thing. It wasn't the Americans. I was pissed off about that. It wasn't the one American rancher that had gotten killed or the one law enforcement officer that had gotten killed. It was the 70 Mexicans. Or maybe they were El Salvadorans, I don't know. They were from south of the border. That doesn't make me a bad American. It doesn't make me a bad person or anything, and any of that. It's because the level of violence had reached that point. All human life is valuable. And I went down there to stop that because I cared about my neighbors. I didn't go and hire the government to do it or write a letter to my senator. I didn't go beg, please government, go down there for me, which actually is their responsibility. I went myself. I donated my time, put my life at risk. What have you done? All you folks out there that are calling me apathetic? Yeah, you're right. You're right about apathy. The apathy has reached crazy levels, ridiculous levels. But it's not coming from me.